Hey friends, welcome back. Come along for my day. I have a lot going on today. We're gonna get started by making some coffee, and then I'm gonna get ready for the day. We're gonna do some homeschool today, get some stuff done around the house. Later on today, I have a regular prenatal doctor's appointment, so I'm gonna share that with y'all and kind of a little update with that. And then at the end of the video, I am sharing a really yummy dinner, super easy, very family friendly dinner, and it was so delicious, so don't miss that. I wanted to give a big thanks to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. I am going to also be sharing a project I'm doing later on, so stay tuned for that as well. It is Monday morning, and I thought we could get ready together for the day. I washed my hair this morning because it needed it. I'm drinking coffee. I have an appointment later today. I've just got a busy day of things that I need to get done. We got a school today. Just get some stuff done around the house. So come along for my day. But first of all, let's get ready for the day. Also, I always break out right here. It's just hormonal breakout. That's where I always break out, on my chin. But I have a breakout right here right now, which I never break out up there. So I'm going in with my Maybelline Super Stay Skin Tint. I have used this for the longest time now. I'm actually out of this one, so I'm not able to use this little thing. So I'm gonna go in with this. I've used this for the longest time, and it is my all-time favorite. I think it works so well. I have a couple of the kiddos already awake, and they are occupied this morning. My goal was to get myself ready before they woke up, but that just didn't happen this morning. Honestly, a lot of days especially since I've been pregnant, and obviously that first trimester was really rough. A lot of days, I would shower in the morning, and that's to the extent of my getting ready. I'd say I get ready a lot more now, especially on days that I want to film a video, or if I have an appointment, or if we have co-op or something going on that day. But today is a day that I need to get myself ready for the day. I have an appointment later, but I want to film a video today, and I just always feel good when I actually get ready. So I didn't get to do this ahead of the kiddos waking today. I just didn't get up in time to do that. So here we are. So we're on I think this is our 4th week of school. And I would say, for the most part, most days they go pretty smoothly. I would say we've had a few days that have been a little tougher, which I think probably any seasoned homeschool mom would tell me that there will be lots of really tough days. This past Friday was a very tough day. So I had already told the kids, we are gonna have chill, shorter day. We're gonna skip out on some lessons that are more, we don't necessarily have to do every day. I think one of them, we're gonna skip our Bible lesson today. We had just done a Bible class at co-op the day before, and we're gonna skip if you have an activity to do. A lot of times we skip art because it's just extracurricular stuff. And I said, we're gonna have a very chill day. We're gonna get done early and all that. And it was just a very rough day that we did a couple lessons, and I told the kids, okay, we're putting up stuff. We are done with school for the day. And we finished up a lot earlier than we planned to. And that was just a tough day. And I just felt like we just had to do that day. So we did. We stopped lessons that day. And so we're picking back up today. And I'm hopeful that things are going to go better. So the next 2 things I used was my Tarte Shade Tape. And then I got this probably about a month ago, Too Faced Melting, Bronzing, and Sculpting Stick in the shade Chocolate Mousse. I really love this. I think it works really well. I love the shade of it. It blends so nicely. Still obsessed. I know I've shared the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I think it's the best stuff ever. I think it works so well. It keeps our makeup in place all day. And I just love it. So I use this pretty much all over my face, starting with under my eyes. Right Then I go in with a powder bronzer, and this is the Charlotte Tilbury. I'm gonna do some blush. I was using a liquid, or like a cream liquid blush for a long time, but I found that I really like this a lot better on me. Smashbox Cali Contour. This is so good if you want like an all-in-one blush, highlighter, contour. I'm putting that in the wrong spot. Blush, highlighter, contour, bronzing. I love this. I'm just out of the contour bronzer. Sometimes I go a little heavy. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo, and I just fill in my brows. And then once those are filled in, I have the Got To Be Glued Brow and Edge Gel, and I just go over those to keep those in place. Truth or Bare palette, mine's broke. Just do a little bit of eyeshadow. I do like a really light shade, kind of all over. And then I do like a taupey shade. Okay, and the last two things I do, the Tartelette Tubing Mascara. And I'm just go out of this. This is just the lipstick I use, the L'Oreal Color Riche in the shade 800, Ferris Nude. So now that I am fully ready for the day, I actually might end up changing. This is a like long jumpsuit. I may get hot, depending, like getting stuff done around the house. Might have to change until my appointment later. But now that I'm fully ready, the kids have already started on schoolwork. They are working on, well, two of the kids are working on Bible right now. They're very independent with that one. And then I also got a new, we're gonna start doing a read aloud. I got a new book so we can start doing a read aloud each day. We may start that this morning, or we may actually wait till tomorrow to start that, depending on kind of what the kids want to do. Just because we've had a little bit of a busier morning this morning to actually plan to get the read aloud to do like during breakfast time. But it's just like a chapter book that we're gonna like all read together and kind of get into together. I'm hoping that it'll be of interest for all the girls. I'm sure Cal wouldn't have much interest in it as of yet, but it's called the All-American. I'll have to show you what it is. Anyways, I have just I thought that would just be really fun for us to do and get into chapter books together and slowly read them each day and hopefully go through several of them this year. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm hoping it goes well. But let me show you the first book we're gonna read. So the very first one I picked was the Olive Kind Family. Never heard of this book. There's a few or several different ones in this series, and reading level 8 through 12. So I'm hoping that even for my younger girls, which are 5 and 7, that it'll catch their interest and we can all like discuss it together and get into it together. So we're gonna start this one. We may do it today. Maybe we're not gonna do it right now because they've already started, but we may do it like during lunchtime or something, or we may just get started on it in the morning. But I'm excited to start that and doing like a read aloud with them each day. But I'm gonna get Millie started on her work, and then I'm gonna get some work done around the house. I am gonna be working on a project today that I thought I would share with y'all and bring y'all along for. Thanks so much to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. I'm gonna actually be using my Cricut Joy Extra to be making this project. So I have 4 kiddos, many of you know that, and for the longest time now, I have been a little burdened about I need to have a keepsake box for each of my kids. And I wish I would have done this years ago when my first was born, but it's never too late to start one. And so I today wanted to make a keepsake box for each of my kids that I can keep anything from school, from our co-op, from anything when they were born. If I want to keep a little outfit or a little hat or something special when they were born, or just something special throughout the years. I have somewhere that I have just stuck everything that I wanted to keep, but it's not something like proper for them. And looking back, as they're older, I know I'm going to want to share these things with them as they're grown, share them with my grandkids, and this was just really important to me to start making for them. As I shared, I wish I would have done this when my first was born,
and just kind of kept up with even more than I've kept up with over the years. But it's never too late to start, so I wanted to go ahead and get one of these made for each of my kids. I just took a large bin. I decided to stick their names on them so we know, all right, Delaney's stuff is in here, Ren, Millie, and Callan's stuff. Decided to put their names on here with some permanent vinyl, and I loved how they turned out, and the kids were so excited for them. They were so excited for how they turned out, and I kind of explained to them what I'm going to be doing with them, and then as they're older, we'll have lots of keepsakes. So if you guys are interested in making something like this, I'll have all the supplies from Cricut that I used in the description below, and you guys can go make one. Like I said, if you have children and don't have one of these yet, I highly recommend making it. And if you have younger kiddos, I wish I would have started sooner, but it's never too late. So I'll have everything below. If you guys also want to make one, I may eventually put like folders in here for like school things, but for now I'm going to kind of put a lot of the keepsakes we have kept over the years. So now I am going to get Millie started with her schoolwork and lay out our books. I have these they are like our video books that shows what we're doing each day and what is going to be covered and what tests or quizzes are each day. So I had to get Millie started. The other two girls have already gotten started. They're pretty independent with getting their work started. They know to grab their computers. They know how to get their computers started. They know which lesson they need to start first and what books they need to start with that lesson. So they have gotten really good and independent with that. But my homeschool days are very busy. Even though they are taught online on a computer by their Becca teachers, they are very busy. And I've shared before, like, I feel like I don't hardly sit down throughout the day because I am helping them with math. I'm explaining things to them. I am handing out tests or quizzes and making sure they have the right books and things like that. So my homeschool days are definitely very busy. But right now I'm really thankful that we have this online curriculum that their teachers can teach them things, and I'm like there to assist. For now, I just really love that. So we are continuing on with our homeschool day, finishing that up, and I'm also doing a few chores. I made up our bed. I had started to do some laundry, but hadn't got that done yet, and started cleaning up the kitchen as well.
Everybody's done. Well, Delaney's almost done with school. Everybody else is done. We're having a little quiet time. I'm gonna put some chicken in the crock pot. I have 2 chicken breasts that I found in the freezer. So my recipe tonight is not gonna have a ton of chicken in it, but I'm gonna use what I have, and then it'll be fine either way. But I'm just gonna throw this in the crock pot with some chicken broth, salt and pepper, and then that way by the time I'm ready to cook our dinner, I think our dinner is gonna be so good. I'm so excited to cook it and try it. I've never made this before, but it looks delicious. By the time I'm ready to cook it later, my chicken will be done, and then I've got to start getting ready for the doctor shortly. I've got to take the kiddos and drop them off for a little bit.
To the doctor?
I have to go to the doctor. Check up on baby. I've got to start getting myself ready for that. I've got to fresh out my makeup a little bit. I have blown my nose a ton today, and my nose is red, and I've got to do something to my hair now. I've just been trying to get a bunch of stuff done today. So I'm just going to throw this in the crock pot, and then I'll share our, I think it's going to be so yummy, dinner later. All right, we're gonna start this chicken. I got 2 chicken breasts. I just spilled this on me, so I might have to change before my appointment. I just got it on my outfit. This can of chicken broth, I stuck it in the fridge after my meal prep last week, so I'm gonna use the rest of that. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit of salt and pepper in here. And then this is my favorite way to make shredded chicken that goes in recipes. I'm gonna cook on low because we are gonna be, it'll be a while before I need this. I am headed out to my prenatal checkup. Gonna drop the kiddos off because Ethan's not quite home yet. He's gonna be home shortly, but I don't wanna be late for my appointment. So I'm gonna drop the kiddos off for a little bit, and then we're gonna head out to my appointment. I changed clothes because my other one was dirty, so I put on the same thing but in black. All right, I just got out of my prenatal appointment. She actually did an ultrasound, which was so kind of her. I was absolutely not expecting an ultrasound today. We just got a picture of the heartbeat. It is 1:53 today. So his heart rate is actually usually been like 160s, 170s. And I think that was one of the reasons I was more thinking in the beginning, probably more thinking maybe a girl. Although you can't really go by that. I know, I totally understand that. You can't really go by that. But Callan his heart rate was always lower. So the appointment went very well. That was so awesome. She did an ultrasound. We were able to see the baby and he looked so great. We talked about a lot of things actually today. I had a lot of questions for her. So my maternal fetal appointment was a couple weeks ago. He had a lot of notes in there that I had questions about. Some like 3rd trimester monitoring, because I always eventually have blood pressure. I actually have had a couple high blood pressures this time, but it was the very beginning. I think it had to do with anxiety going into appointments. I really do, because at home it's been great, but today it was really great here. And he had talked about some 3rd trimester monitoring, which I had more of that with like Delaney's pregnancy than my other pregnancies. So she talked about we would definitely like err on the side of caution for that and do like probably weekly visits starting at, I think she said starting at 28 or 32 weeks once I hit that 3rd trimester, like weekly checking fluid levels and checking things, especially if my blood pressure does get high, which unfortunately expected it to, because I always had that issue. And once I hit like 30-ish weeks, we actually talked about a lot, some things that made me a little bit sad. So I have mentioned Cal and Millie, my last 2 babies, have had breathing issues when they were born. So Millie, I delivered at a hospital that does not have a big NICU, and love the hospital. Everybody's great there. Love the providers there, and I love my OBGYN and would love to have her deliver this baby. So Cal he had a lot of breathing issues, and we had to be transferred out of that hospital and to one with a big NICU. And I really want to avoid that this time, especially we know the baby's a boy. From everything the doctors have told me, little boys have usually more issues than girls with lung development. Especially if I have to deliver early. And she even said, like, maybe you don't have to deliver at 37 weeks this time. Hopefully we can get you a little bit farther, which I would love that. And so we talked about possibly delivering at a bigger hospital, and she said it could actually get really tricky to do that. And she actually recommended that if we decide to do that, once we hit close to the 3rd trimester, once we hit like the 28-week mark, kind of decide at that point whether I want to switch providers and switch care to a different OBGYN office at like near that hospital, and where if I went to those doctors, I would deliver at the big hospital that I would love to deliver at, to be in the right spot. And it kind of makes me sad, because I love this OBGYN, and it's a lot to think about whether I want to switch and be in the right spot in case something happens, or whether we should stay where we're at and hope for the best, and hopefully baby will be good and no lung problems. I just want to have a healthy delivery with no issues this time. Oh my goodness, like that would mean so much to me, to not have a baby with any breathing issues that we had to be transferred out. Just like a normal healthy delivery where we can just deliver the baby can be put right on me and stay with me the whole time, and not have to be like taken from me and transferred to any hospital, or taken from me and put in the nursery for a while to monitor and get oxygen. Okay, someone came out, and I get a little bit of anxiety filming on my camera with somebody right there. We've just got a lot to discuss, what we want to do, because I feel sad about possibly leaving this OBGYN, because she's so good, and I love seeing her, and I just trust her a lot and trust her opinion and everything she says. And that just means a lot whenever you're pregnant and you're looking for a provider. It's just meant so much to me to be able to see her every time. And so guys, I will be back here in about 4 weeks, and then we have another one scheduled out, or actually 2 more scheduled out after that, I believe. I think that last one we have scheduled out in December will be my glucose test, and I think by that point I have to decide what we're going to do about providers. anyways, that's basically what we talked about. But baby looked great, and I was so excited she did an ultrasound. I was not expecting her to do an ultrasound. She just did a quick ultrasound. I was really expecting the Doppler because at this point that's what every other pregnancy's been, just a Doppler check. But good appointment. I am actually at, I've talked a little bit about this on Instagram. This week is actually the week gestation that we lost Cole. And I actually had a little scare yesterday with the Doppler. If you're new here, I found out we lost our last two babies because I couldn't find their heartbeats on the Doppler. And I feel like I'm really good with the Doppler. I can always find the heartbeat. Even if I had to walk away for a few minutes and come back, I'm always able to find it. But those two babies, I couldn't find the heartbeat, and it's because they didn't have a heartbeat. And I have a lot of trauma surrounding the Doppler, but I also have to have my Doppler because it just helps me so much just to know everything's okay. So I've checked the baby every day. Yesterday, I was having trouble finding the heartbeat and couldn't find it for a few minutes. But I was eventually able to find it, and that, man, that was a tough few minutes trying to figure out, is this baby okay? Oh my goodness, like, we're at the week we lost Cole. Please let this baby be okay. But everything's good. Found the heartbeat. Obviously everything's good. We went today. Perfect heartbeat on the ultrasound. Baby looked great. And so yeah, I'm gonna go grab the kiddos. We're gonna head home and start some dinner.
Dinner tonight was so good. I will definitely be making this again. I think it'd be really good with ground beef as well. I'm making this cheesy chicken rice taco bake, and it was a big hit. We loved it, and the leftovers were honestly even better. So you're gonna need 2 cups of minute rice. You're gonna need about a cup of salsa. I did a couple chicken breasts, so I think it called for like 4 cups of chicken breasts or something like that. I don't think I had quite that. I did a can of black beans that I drained and rinsed, and I did about 2 cups of chicken broth, and then I stirred that and combined that really, really well. I topped that with tin foil, and I baked it in the oven on 350 for 30 minutes, like I said, covered with tin foil. And then after 30 minutes, I took it out. I added some shredded cheddar cheese to that, and then I topped it with almost a whole container of whatever cheese dip you prefer. This is just the Gordo's brand cheese dip, which is what I typically buy. And then you are going to cover that back with the tin foil and wait about 5 to 10 minutes while that cheese melts. I did heat up my cheese dip before I put it over top, and then I just let it melt for about 5 or 10 minutes. We serve this over some tortilla chips and just top with your favorite toppings. I did sour cream. Tomatoes, you can do tomatoes, you can do lettuce. I didn't have any lettuce, but it was so good. Definitely a big hit around here, and I will absolutely be making it again. So I hope you guys enjoyed coming along for my day, and I'll see you guys soon for another video.